Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be a live trade video where I try to capture some of my trades as they play out live. Market opens up here in about 5 minutes. Really quickly, when I say live, what I mean is that I'm recording myself, seeing the information for the very first time, opposed to having already recorded everything and now I'm coming back and explaining what's already happened. So this is not a trade recap. This is not some sort of post-commentary analysis. I'm recording myself, seeing everything for the very first time. So if you just want an unscripted, nitty-gritty look into what it's like to be a day trader, how day trading can play out, then this will be a video for you. So I'm going to go ahead and pause for now, and I'll be back in about 3 minutes when the market opens. And real quick, just to map out my thoughts right now and to also give an insight, because one of the big questions always get to say, Clay, I know you offer a private community, but how does that work? So try to accomplish a couple things here. So from just the document and my thought process perspective, what I'm watching here is DLTR. So right there, and then also have that up on my screen. And yeah, I'm watching for this to break up above 100 to then potentially short any movement back below. For you beginners, short just means make money when prices are going down. So yeah, shorting means you would want to see prices go down in order to make money. And then, like I said, this is just how the chat room works. So members have the same exact thought process. Now, whether they agree or disagree, that's up to them. It's not a group of sheep. We're a group of wolves. We just work together, point out opportunities, give our thoughts. But at the end of the day, it is up to each individual member to be able to think for themselves, which is what you should want, right? You don't want to be a little puppet. You don't want to be a little sheep. You want to be a wolf that knows how to think and hunt for yourself. Now, yeah, you can work together, but at the end of the day, the decision-making process needs to come down to you. So market opens up in less than 1 minute, so I will pause and I'll be back. All right, the markets are open. And like I said, these are live, so maybe the $100 mark, that green line, will not be relevant at all right now. Not seeming like it's going to be relevant, but the market hasn't been open, 30 seconds. So that's the thing. When these are live, sometimes I'll map all this stuff out, and then nothing comes about from it. But as it can appear to be a waste of time, and it's also just a good, realistic look into, yeah, that's just how trading goes sometimes. You can have thought process, you can have game plans, and then things don't quite work out. So just watching DLTR right now. And we'll see what it wants to ultimately do. Just looking around. And if you do hear typing, that's just me making alerts to the chat room community. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and pause for now, and if there's a setup or something that takes place, I'll get the video going at that point. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get short here at 96. 50 was the entry point that I was thinking for, but I got 96.66, even better. Stop will be up over 98. Just 100 shares because, I don't know, this thing very well may be bottoming out here. So I'm going to give it some wiggle room, but if it does want to go in my favor, then fantastic. But looking for this thing to potentially break down through the lows. But like I said, a little, not super confident. Hence me only doing 100 shares. So that's just, controlling risk through position sizing. But let's see what it wants to do. Again, if it goes up over 98, I will need to bow out of the trade. But if this thing wants to go in my favor, then fantastic. And because it is such a small size trade, might even add in another position somewhere, just because this one is, in fact, why don't I do that? Stop 98.01. So yeah, oh, and it looks like we're going to get stopped out here. Now, if it does come back down here to 96.50, I would look to add actually another 200 shares, but we'll see. Or add another 100 shares. I don't know what I said there. I would have 200 total. But like I said, right now, looking like it might turn into, in fact, let me just at least get this alerted here, because 96.50 is looking a lot better now. But as of now, looking like I have a chance here to get stopped out. So I am up over 98. In fact, you can see my stop loss in right there. So it's in the system. Yeah, if this thing wants to come back down to 96.50, and I should note right there, have that alert in the chat room. So 96.50 flush point. Again, do members have to do anything with that? Nope. All right, it's coming back down. Watching closely. Again, we'll look to add another 100 shares. So watching. Okay, added another 100. Let's see if we can get the break of 96.50 here. Or maybe this thing's gonna, maybe this thing just fooled me and it's not gonna break down. So if it is, then hey, I really like the odds, really like the setup here. But yeah, self-admittedly, maybe I got suckered in. Maybe it's not as good of a setup as what I thought it was, but I mean, it looks good to me. Now, I'm not looking to take any sort of profits at all unless this thing can at least get down below 96. So it's making a move down. Let's see, can we get the break in 96? It's hitting 96. But as would be expected, quite a bit of buyers there. But let's see if it wants to give it another chance. I don't know if the mic's picking it up, but I'm up at my cottage, and it's not like the normal setup. So my newborn, well, as of I think 3 months old, is with me. So if you hear any crying out, it's not me crying. It's the newborn. Well, it could be me crying. We'll see. But as right now, it would just be Kit, our daughter. Come on, Kit. What do you say? Let's get this break of 96, huh? Probably shouldn't be talking to her. She's supposed to be sleeping right now. All right, well. Like I said, giving this thing a chance. If it wants to break down, fantastic. But as far as, the trade setup is concerned, you got to see it below 96 in order for me to at least start to be able to lock in some profits. So this thing is either going to break down or it's not. And if it doesn't, that's okay. Only have 200 shares. So sure, I'm not going to make a boatload of money if I am right. But the nice thing about that is if I'm wrong, I'm also not going to lose any sort of crazy amount of money. All right, I'm wondering if I should just pause this. This is getting kind of boring right now. Okay, took out 100 shares there just because at this point this thing might be getting ready to bounce back upwards. But if I'm wrong and if it does decide that it wants to continue on down, well, then I'm glad I'll still have 100 shares. But no problem admitting that right now. I feel like this thing could maybe go either way. Can it finally break through 96 this time? There we go. But a very weak break. Give it another chance. All right, taking out another 25 shares there. So this is going to be a very but if anything, sometimes you'll have mornings like this where you don't quite see any setups that really stand out. So you need to kind of just manage that with position size, and there we go. Now getting somewhat of a break. So let's see if we can get this thing down below 95.50. I mean, it's breaking lows here, so now it's just a question of, okay, great, but is this going to create some more panic here? Well, let's see what it wants to do. Now, at this point, you're probably saying the same thing I'm saying to myself, Clay, why don't you just do more size? Why don't you have like 1,000 shares? And then these gains would be adding up that much quicker. And I agree. The thing is, at that point in time, I had no idea what was coming next. So for all I knew, this was about to be some sort of, losing trade. I guess it didn't break the lows. What are the lows? 95.66. Okay, and it hit a low of 95.66. All right, there we go. Now it broke through lows. So it's sitting right there at those lows. Can we get more moving to the downside? But yeah, I agree. I'm as myself, Clay, you should have just done more. But hey, that's hindsight for you, right? That's where you sit there and play the shoulda, coulda, woulda game. But that is just the nature of the beast. And really, I thought this would be a bit more of a faster mover than what it is. Trying to give this thing another opportunity to make a push to the downside. And I'm looking around making other alerts also. But I'll let it roll here. Can it get down through 95.50? That was my next kind of area that I was ideally wanting. But at this point, I feel like I should be a little bit more greedy and just try to get a little bit more out of it. I mean, I only got 75 shares. Because it seems like if 95.50 can break, then 95.25 I think I have a legitimate chance at. So I think I can pick up an extra 25 cents before I think about start doing. But yeah, wow. Well, you know, for those of you that are long-time watchers of the channel, then you know, you've seen videos where you know, $1,000 in 9 minutes, you know, $1,200. I think I had won $1,200 in 10 seconds. And sometimes you have mornings like this. So from just a straight up, gonna go ahead and take off another 25 there. So from just a straight up transparency perspective, yet not every morning can be like that. I wish I could say that every single morning there's beautiful setups where I could go bigger size and then make those bigger gains, but that's just not the reality of the market. Sometimes you're going to have mornings like this where it's almost like a why even bother? All right, 95.50 is getting hit. And why bother? Well, because you just never know, right? You never know. Something, for all I know right now, an awesome opportunity could come along. If that were to occur, I just cut out right now and go play that one. But what I see right now is just not a whole lot that catches my eye. So some mornings you're just going to have this, and it's just, it comes with the nature. Now, maybe some people don't necessarily, you know, share that with you. All right, I'm going to take, in fact, this is kind of, at this point, I'll give it a little bit more time, but I'm kind of starting to lose patience with it a bit just because it's all right, Kit. Yeah, Kit's getting frustrated too. Like, just, will you just break down? All right, well, what I am going to do, how long is this video? Oh, we're already 13, well, all right, now it's bouncing. All right, I'm out. There we go. So $63, and it is what it is. I mean, like I said, you can't always have the big wins. You can't always have the quick wins, but there was a good, basically 10-minute trade, which for me is relatively long, for $63. But I mean, let's keep things in perspective. I mean, it's 9:44, so it's less than 15 minutes in, and I've made $63. Not many places in the world where you can make $63 in 15 minutes. But yeah, I totally understand if you watch past videos, this video, what is going on right now, Clay? Hey, like I said, that's just, now do I really want to post this video to YouTube? No, I don't. Now I will since I hit the record button, but I have zero problem admitting that I would rather be posting awesome videos where I'm making $500, $600, $700, $800, $1,000, $1,200 in very small amounts of time. But that's just not how it works all the time. Sometimes you're going to find yourself in situations like this, and it is what it is. So as you can hear, Kit's starting to, so I'll go ahead and pause, and maybe I'm done just because I'm not really feeling it totally mentally right now. I think a little bit of frustration just because, I mean, what's going on here? I'm up $63. I should have went bigger size, but of course, that's all hindsight. So I need to be very careful. Plus, I want to make a cool YouTube video, so I have the YouTube voice saying, Clay, this is going to be a terrible video to put on YouTube. Redeem yourself. Go make another trade. At least get this thing up over $500. So that voice is starting to creep into. So I got to be very, very careful from my mental standpoint. But I will go ahead and pause for now. And something extra quality shows up, I'll get the video rolling. Okay, watching 396 here as a potential short. Risking, I could go red on the day on it, which I'd be fine with. Okay, I need to watch 396 here closely. Just doing 50 shares again. High risk play here because this could bounce off the trend line, but it could also start to bleed down through the trend line also. What in the world was that? Was that just a fat finger print? All right, never mind. I'll go ahead and pause. All right, I had to move my daughter. She was getting a little too. I don't know if the mic was picking it up or not. But still watching 396. But that trend line right there, the power of trend lines. Notice how it's now bounced basically 3 times off that area. So I'm looking for confirmation of it, and that confirmation being the 396 mark. Again, just 50 shares because higher risk trade here because it may just want to bounce. It's also very choppy. Yeah, 396, 150. Yeah. So this trade could put me in the red, but it wouldn't be anything big at all, and that's okay. Again, I don't want to sound like I'm a greedy savage, but I mean, I'm only up $63. Now, if I was up $630, then all of a sudden I put myself in the red. That's a much different mental condition there. That's a much different situation. But if I go from $63 to being in the red a bit, like I said, I'm not going to become unhinged or anything like that in that situation. But as for now, it's wanting and that's why I was waiting for 396. Just too much around this trend line. But if 396 does want to come into play, I will be keeping an eye out for it, but I will pause for now. So what I will do is if it comes down, short at 396, stop over 398. So risking right around $100. Well, with slippage, let's just call it another 50. So worst case, I'm looking at $150 loss. So we'll call, I don't know, I'd be down right around $90-ish on the day, which I'll be okay with. But so that'll be the trade plan now. Short 396, stop 398. But with slippage, potentially, a little bit more than a $100 loss. But in order for this to play out, yeah, I got to see, what is that? Do I want to try to 396.50 now? Maybe I'll try that. No, stay with 396. So it is coming down. Watching very closely. $396. But it's once again holding strong. Right around that area. Okay, trying again. All right, 396.41. It snapped back or snapped down, then came up. So it actually gave me a better entry point. But like I said, this thing goes up over 398. I am out. So it broke the trend line. So it either needs to start to go in my favor now, or I got to peace out. So that's the idea here. Got the breakdown. Either this is a breakdown or it's not. And if it's not, then I'll walk away with my loss. But as of now, it's just a question of can this thing get more downside momentum. So 396 is that stubborn level right now that it's knocking on the door of. So it's very as simple as that. There is nothing complicated here from a trade plan perspective. This thing's either breaking down and going to start to continue to break down, or it's not. And I'll walk away with overall losing trade, overall losing day. But again, it just goes back to, but not by much. But if it goes in my favor, hey, I'll put some extra nickels in my pocket. But we'll see if it wants to break down. Key breakdown area definitely at this point going to be right around the 395.50 mark. Although 396 is actually still being relatively stubborn here too. But I like the setup, and the trend line is broken. Now, is it a true breakdown or not? Like I said, that remains to be seen. There's 395 on the bid. So I'm watching this number right here. Let's see if this wants to start to drop below 395.50. But you can see, there we go. Now can it pick up some more momentum down through there? There we go. All right, picking up some momentum here. Yeah, let's see if it wants 394.50 would be great to take off a part of my position. Or is this thing going to bounce up, take me out? Stop now up over 397.50. So if this goes over 397.50, I will be out. So still could be a losing trade, but the good news is the losing trade is getting smaller and smaller because I am moving my stop loss down. So yeah, 397.50 is the new stop loss here. Clay, why don't you just take your gains? You were in the green. I know, but what happens if it kept going down? Then you'd be saying, Clay, why did you get out? Right? So all hindsight, this is live trading. I realize that puts me at risk of looking very stupid, but hey, maybe I'll end up looking very smart because this thing will actually come down and get down to that area that I wanted it to be at. But yeah, I'm well aware. Yeah, 394.75. I think that'll be the golden goose. Oh yeah, what is that over there in the 5 minute? 394. Yeah, 65. I'll call the golden goose point here. But let's see if it can get down through that area. SPY coming down nicely now, but mRNA doesn't seem to really care. Again, 394.65. That does seem to be the key area where if that can break, then I like the chances of this thing getting down to at least the 394 mark. But as of right now, 395 being a big pain. Yeah, the SPY continues to get pushed to the downside. Oh, getting hit again. Again, watching this number here, would love to see 395 disappear. The lower that number goes, the better. But you can see every time it gets to 395, there we go. But 394.65, remember that's what I was saying is the area to me that seems to be. All right, there we go. There, all right, nice. And look at that, just like that, down it goes. So still have 25 shares left. Again, I know, Clay, why don't you do bigger size? You would be up, had you done your normal 400 shares, you'd be up like $800 right now. I know, you're not wrong, but this is all hindsight, and this is just the transparent side of trading is sometimes when you're a little unsure, you're gonna feel stupid. You're gonna look stupid because you could have done something differently, but your mind tends to discount, there it goes. Your mind tends to discount the fact of, yeah, but what happens if it would have went the other way? Then you would have been looking at a huge loss. So I understand, I get it. I do look foolish. Where's it at? I would like 393. Why don't I just do this? I mean, take off another 15. I mean, at this point. But that was the move. That was the surge. So took off some more there. And at this point, you know what? I have 10 shares left, and I want to move on with my day. So gonna hop out there. So there we go, $108. And I was risking, like I said, right around 100. And yeah, that could have been a lot more had I just hopped out down there. And it definitely could have been a whole lot more had I went normal share size. But you just never know. And while this is a 24-minute video, but I mean honestly, these are the videos that I would argue matter the most because I understand that glitz and glamour is the fun stuff. It's great to show and look at all this money, look how fast I made it. And again, I'm guilty as that too. I have those videos out there, but I guess in my defense, I also have videos like this out there where, I'm walking away with $172. Then again, it's 10:03. So, I mean, 30 minutes, $172. I don't know of many places in the world where you can make $170 in 30 minutes. But yeah, point being is this was not by any means any sort of glitz and glamour video. Yes, I was right in both situations. Yes, if I had went bigger share size, that my day would have been very, very nice. But that is all hindsight. And again, that is the transparent side of trading, is not every day is going to go well, because you're going to have days where you're not quite confident, but you could still turn out to be right. And then you can say, why was I not confident? And then you can go and force yourself into a trade where you're just forcing yourself in a trade because you're frustrated. But that's okay. Not every day is going to be big. Not every day is going to be a winner. Like I said, I was sitting on the edge of potentially a red day here. It worked in my favor, which isn't shocking. I mean, I'm just playing probabilities, right? I'm playing patterns. I'm playing things that are most likely to happen. But just because something's most likely doesn't mean that it will. So it is what it is. 25 minutes in, or 25 minutes as far as this video is concerned right now. And if you're still here right now, I appreciate it. And sure, maybe not the most exciting, but like I said, hopefully you're looking at this from a transparency side of things in terms of this is just the life of a trader. You got to recognize when you're not quite confident, and you can still take the trade, but you want to manage risk in the sense of position size, manipulation. That's what I did here. But just be prepared. And the important part is, if you are right, the voice will show up that say, why did you do that? Why didn't you go full size? That voice is going to show up, but you have to also remind that voice, well, yeah, but what happened if I was wrong? Then that loss would have been, bigger. So just, you got to remember both sides of the coin. So I realize I'm repeating myself, but I just want to get that across because it's very, very important. But like I said, if you're still here right now, thank you very much. Seriously. I feel like we're friends right now if you've hung out with me for going on 26 minutes and counting. So I appreciate, we're friends now as far as I'm concerned. Whether or not you want to be my friend, that's okay. I consider you my friend for hanging out with me for this long. But if you do enjoy these live trade videos, and if you enjoy these lessons that I kind of try to bake in, then do a couple things for me, because these videos are not easy. I have to think for myself. And I'll show, earlier on I noted how the chat room works, but right here, you can see in the chat room, posted that right here, mRNA 396 short confirms, or 396 short confirms the trend line has been broken. So you saw that exactly play out. Now, did members have to do that? No. Again, everybody should think for themselves. This is an example of how the chat room works. So for any of you members that do watch these videos and you took that trend line break, then, congratulations, you were paid very nicely. Hopefully you did it with bigger size than I did. Hopefully you had bigger conviction than what I did, but that's all obviously hindsight. But like I said, so if you do enjoy these videos, and I should note, if you do want to join the chat room there, claytrader.com/team, TEAM, claytrader.com/team. And you can learn more about that service. But as far as these live trade videos are concerned, if you enjoy them, if you want me to keep making them, because they are difficult to do, because they are truly live. So I'm thinking how I'm going to trade. I'm thinking what I'm going to say to you. I have to talk to you. I have to manage my own trades. I have to make alerts in the chat room. So they're totally doable, but they're just not the easiest. So I want to make sure that I'm managing my time wisely. So if it is worth my time, if you enjoy, if you find these videos helpful, if they're entertaining, then hit the like button, leave a basic comment, even if it's just hi. Or in this situation, still here. Leave the comment still here if you are still here as we're approaching 30 minutes on the video. And if you're still here, again, thank you very much. I consider you a friend. So hit the like button, type still here, and that's awesome, and that's a great indicator that you actually truly do enjoy these videos to stick around for so long. But get out there, realize that, sometimes you can be right, but that doesn't mean you're going to make a lot of money, because you are actually doing the responsible thing by being risk conscientious upfront. But yeah, this is the transparent side of trading. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.